NBA MVP. We talk about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, but I think we should really have more of a conversation for Cade Cunningham to win the league MVP. Do I think he'll win it? No. Right now, if you actually look at it, Shea is the leading candidate for the MVP. But there is a chance, though, that Cade could win it because remember the NBA, the rule, the 65 games.
Yes.
Jokic, he can miss like one more game. Shea has like 6 more games left. If you look at Cade Cunningham and the type of season that he is having the past 2 seasons, I mean, because I remember we did a start bench and cut with Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I cut I put Cade Cunningham as far as cut at that particular time because of how Tyrese was doing and how much potential I thought LaMelo had. And LaMelo Ball, to his credit, the Charlotte Hornets, they've been playing well so far. If it weren't for Cooper Flag, Canupo could win Rookie of the Year. Matter of fact, he has the rookie record for the most threes. So when I look at Cade Cunningham, the improvement, Detroit right now, they have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They've beaten the New York Knicks 3 times this season.
Absolutely.
Now, unfortunately for Cade, he came off a disappointing performance against the Spurs, but against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 29 points, 13 assists. You look at him this season, averaging 25.4 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 9.8 assists. He's second in assists, only behind Nikola Jokic. I think Cade Cunningham, Detroit, could really actually make some noise and compete in the Eastern Conference Finals. There's all this talk about New York, and of course, we got to wait and see what's going to happen with Boston. Eventually, if Jason Tatum is going to come back, I think for Boston, they should sit Tatum for the remainder of the season.
Yes, absolutely.
But when I look at Cade Cunningham, the improvement this season, if Cade Cunningham wins the league MVP, I wouldn't be mad at it because it may not be the spectacular numbers like Jokic and Shea has been putting, but his impact, his value, what he means to the team, and how much of a leadership role he has taken. I think that he has a chance. And if Shea and Jokic continuously miss games, because again, you have to factor the 65 game rule, I think there may be more of a reason for Cade to win it. Do I think Cade will win the MVP? No, I think for right now, you probably go with Shea. And then we can't ignore Wemby. Wemby, I think he has to miss at least 3 more games in order for him not to be eligible for the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But who do you have your MVP right now? I have Shea right now.
I would say Cade Cunningham. I think his MVP candidacy is the best story in the NBA because think about where they were just 2 years ago.
Yes, and not only that, champ. Not only that, he becomes the first American to win the MVP since Harden back in 2017.
Yes, indeed. His story it would be a lot more intriguing for everybody. I know that Shea, trying to go back to back, trying to the beginning of a dynasty, coming from Seattle to OKC.
And now he's back. And now he's back tonight against the Nuggets.
Yeah, I know that's a huge story, but I think the bigger story from the depths in which they came, it's Isaiah Thomas, Bad Boy Pistons-esque, I will say. You think about when Isaiah got drafted by the Bad Boy Pistons, by the Detroit Pistons, it's just like they were just. It was like they used to say, it was Detroit was a way station for a long time. And it's been that way for a long time in Detroit. And for him to come and change the culture of that, for them to build around him and make him an MVP candidate to be in a position where he can win an MVP at this point in time is nothing short of amazing. Like I stated, they built that team in the same ways that they built the Bad Boy Pistons, in the same way that they built the Bad Boys Part 2 when they had, Ben Wallace, they had Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, a lot of those guys, Corliss Williams, Eldon Campbell. They built a
Clifford
lot of those.
Robinson.
Yes. So all of those teams that Detroit has that have been in championship contention have been the same. And so I think the most intriguing story of the MVP candidacy is Cade Cunningham. Like I stated, from the depths in which they came, because they were at the pit of obscurity under Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons at one point. And like you stated, I think we brought this up last week. We both brought this up last week about the start bench cut that we had. So yeah, I think it's time for a revisit at a later time, especially considering where each one of those respective players are at their career. But I will say this, and I hate to say this, but watch out for. Oh man, I hate this. I hate saying it.
Why?
Because it's Boston. You know how I feel about Boston. I hate the Celtics, but I think LeBron's kind of right. I think you need to start looking at Jaylen Brown as an MVP candidate, as the dark horse MVP candidate. Really, to be honest with you, if you really want me to be honest with you, a lot of people, although this team is good, they expected them to kind of be straggling a little bit. They expected them to be straggling, especially when you didn't have Jason Tatum. And Jaylen Brown has definitely taken over this team. And the only reason why I believe that he is not being considered as an MVP candidate at this point is he's not the ideal face of the NBA. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the R card for people who are going to take the easy way out. He has that Kareem type feel to him. He's an activist. He has his own shoe. He's not with the big brands. And, he's very, very strong.
Remember USA? Remember USA? Remember how he wasn't elected to play for Team USA, even though he won the Finals MVP?
Absolutely.
So they're gonna factor that, but again, they'll probably look at, well, they brought in Derek White, and supposedly because of role scheme or whatever. But I'm actually kind of shocked. Big fella, a Laker. Whoever thought a Laker fan giving Celtics fan credit, but at the same time, that's why champ is fair though. But yeah, Jaylen Brown deserves more consideration for the MVP champ because these types of numbers without Jason Tatum, how would the team be with Jaylen Brown as the number one option?
Hey, he's proving it right now. And right now, if I'm looking at his numbers, I was bringing them up just a couple seconds ago. His numbers are 29. He's fourth in the league in scoring, 33rd in rebounding, 31st in assists, and he's shooting 47% from the field. Well, 48% from the field.
47.9.
Yeah, I just rounded up. But yeah, thanks for correcting me though. But rounded up a little bit. But yeah, I think he's definitely because they're the number 2 seed in the East right about now without his co-star Jason Tatum. So
that tells you something, considering the fact that it was supposed to be New York prior to the season to win the East, considering how Indiana took a step back, losing Miles Turner, losing Tyrese Halliburton. Detroit has taken a huge step up compared to last year. And you look at Boston. They moved on from Porzingis. They also moved on from Big Al.
Yeah.
So I like what I'm seeing from this team, and they also they moved on from Anthony Simmons. They brought in Vucevic, who I like. Even though I'm a Chicago Bulls dude, but I love Vucevic because he's a guy that can give you a good double and double. He's a guy that can give you a nice 18, 20, and 12. He can do that for you. But it's going to be interesting with the East. I mean, Detroit and plus Cleveland with the James Harden trade. Because before the thumb fracture, Harden, they were on a winning streak. They were like 5-0 at one point.
Absolutely.
And then with the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, Hidden Edgecombe, that's going to be an exciting backcourt. The thing is, with Embiid, with his durability, I like the coach Nick Nurse, but it depends on what we're going to see from Joel Embiid, though. And then Also, too, because you were at that Atlanta Hawks game, ATL is only 9th in the East. So we can't wait to see what they're going to do in that play-in tournament. And by the way, I don't know, for most improved player, they're definitely going to throw in Cade Cunningham into the conversation. Jaylen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks.
Yes. Jaylen Johnson was good. And big shout out, man. Look, I knew it's the Wizards, but Kuminga had one hell of a game Tuesday night when we were at the Atlanta Hawks game. Shout out to my main man Josh. We was courtside. We was behind the backboard. As you can see, I got the souvenirs right over my left shoulders. Go Hawks. You know, the clappers, what we call them up there. But yeah, Kuminga definitely went off in his debut, man. He's definitely an asset to this team. They actually did a Trae Young tribute video as well.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I will be posting that to my IG very, very soon. I will tag Sports PSP in there just so everybody can get a chance to see it. But it was an electric night, man, and they have a little tribute that they're going to play to a certain nightclub on the 16th of March, and I'm going to see about going to that one if you really want me to be honest. I think that's going to be good, but I got to give a lot of credit where credit is due, because if you really want me to be honest about Boston, the reason I brought them up is because during the offseason, people were saying, should they tank without Jason Tatum? Should, they trade Jaylen Brown? A lot of guys are around the league asking those questions. And so for them to be number 2 without what many consider to be the main star of the team is nothing short of amazing. And like I stated, the only reason why he's not being talked about more is he's not the ideal face. He's very, very stoic. He doesn't have that big time personality. He's not a look at me type of guy. He's very, very professional.
I don't know about person. He does have more personality than you give credit for. A lot of people were giving him a lot of flack for his hairdo.
I mean, that's not personality. That's just being foolish. But
that does sell something. That does kind of sell something.
You rub that damn magic marker that you write on the blackboard with out your damn head. I don't know how's that personality. It's just that that's just being foolish, or you're not paying the right barber. But
it works for him, because at the end of the day, I'm still averaging almost 30 a game. So
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, hell, if you can spray that shit on your head and you can still average 30 pound G, I don't want you around here looking like Carlos Boozer back when he was. I'm just being honest with you. Like I said, I don't want you with that magic marker tape. That is foolish. But I really think that he should get a lot more consideration for it. Like I stated, because everybody was asking, should they blow it all up since Jason Tatum's not going to be back? Everybody was saying that. Let's just not pretend. Not you, PSP, but I'm talking about the rest of the world. Let's not pretend that people were not saying that. Should they blow it up? Should they trade Jaylen Brown? Is the season over? Is it over before it even started? Everybody automatically assumed that this was the year of New York City. Everybody just automatically assumed no Jason Tatum, no Tyrese Halliburton. Everybody just automatically assumed this was going to be the year of New York. And unfortunately, the Big Apple's getting a little rotten right about now. So it just remains to see what's going to happen.
And plus, there was also trade reports about Cat, whether Karl Anthony Towns was going to be traded.
Yeah.
So anything could happen. But my thing is, I'm happy for Boston for them not to tank, because you look at this draft class. I hate that you brought up Carlos Boozer, champ, because his son, Cam Boozer, averaging around 22 and 10. Of course, there's AJ Dibanasta and Darren Peterson, even though he's caught a lot of flack for load management, sitting down in games. But when you look at his size, 6'6", 205, guy can shoot the ball, athletic. This is going to be a really exciting draft class. And, of course, that point guard from Arkansas, that dude can get buckets. So I think, but as far as with the MVP, I'm going to go with Shea for now. But I'm going to put Cade second, and I'll put Jokic third. I can understand somebody putting Jokic second because he is averaging a triple-double.
Yeah. I mean, triple double. I remember averaging a triple double was something out of the ordinary, but I'm gonna just be real. Him averaging a triple double and it just becoming the norm. You got to thank one man and one man only. That's Russell Westbrook. People can say whatever they want to, but he made a triple double seem like it was normal. And I understand that, people are going to say, look at his size, but, before Russell Westbrook in modern time, averaging a triple double was something, hey, but thank Russell Westbrook for making it seem like the norm. And shout out to Jokic for,
I think
doing
Jokic
it.
has perfected it, champ.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Perfecting it and making it keep on being like the norm. But
You Here's how I look at it, champ. Remember how you say with wrestling, Eric Bischoff was the one who started it,
mhm.
but Vince perfected it.
Yes, indeed. That's a perfect analogy. That is a
Because when
perfect.
I look at Jokic, he's not as athletic as Russell Westbrook, but the no look passes, the behind passes, for a guy his size to be handling the type of basketball. Did you see that shot, that fadeaway shot, as the shot clock was about to go down? Off
Nasty.
1 foot. And for him, because you're very huge on narratives, champ, he was drafted in the second round during a Taco
That's a
Bell
big
commercial.
commercial.
And for him to be a 3-time league MVP and to be putting up these types of numbers, he does it in his sleep. I think he perfected it because I think he's more efficient than Westbrook. The passing ability, the PER, champ, if you look at his PER, it's through the roof. So, but man, we got some more basketball to talk about later for this season. But man, I can't wait. And by the way, my favorite player from your Georgia Bulldogs, Anthony Edwards. Man, that's that back three that he hit against the Clippers.
If he, I believe it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time for he's the absolute face of the league. People may not like it. People may consider it unconventional, but it's only a matter of time because it's that old school tenacity. It's that old school tenacity and that new school flair. And I like Anthony Edwards, man. I like him. I like him a lot, man. Not just because he's from UGA, but like I said, the flair that he has, amazing, amazing. Hey, man, look, after All-Star break, it's always an interesting narrative. But I do have a question I have to ask you. Do you think that Adam Silver should take away that 65 game rule, or should he keep it in place?
Keep it, because I think it'll probably give players more of a reason to actually compete. So to validate their cases, players can say whatever they want. Everyone wants validation. Everybody wants validation because they may say, "I don't care about winning the MVP. I may care more about winning a championship." But again, not saying that an MVP is like a championship, but it is validation to prove how valuable you are. I think they should keep it. Gives players more of a reason to play. I think it should be there. What's your thoughts?
I think it should because
Because again, a lot of players they tank, with the load management and stuff like that, and it infuriates us fans because again, we spend our hard-earned money just to watch them play, but they ain't playing.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. 65. 65. I think that after a while, if he said the 65 game isn't working, he could possibly lower it to 60. I wouldn't go any lower than that. But 65 game, I think that's reasonable. You got that's 17 games you could miss. Kind of like going to work on PTO. You got 17 PTO days. Now, if it's something that you can't help, then okay. But all the load management and things of that nature, I think that's hurt the game a little bit. And rightfully so, they should have the 65 game minimum in order for you to have certain accolades. Is it going to hurt some guy's legacy? If you're good, if you're great, it won't. because you'll just be able to bounce back the very, very next year. And the eye test is everything. The eye test is everything. It's becoming more about the eye test and less about the accomplishment in the eyes of the Hall of Fame, the eyes of fans and things of that nature, especially in basketball, because they're understanding what's happening as far as with the 65 game minimum. It's becoming more and more important. But I think they should keep it that way. Hey, look, you want these awards? Because these awards equal incentives. These awards equal incentives. So if you want them, you want that, you want to activate that $21 million bonus. Hey, stay active. I mean, and it wouldn't have got this way had players and teams, I'll say, wouldn't have been with the load management deal. And unfortunately, they had to do something about that and for people, hey, Jordan, Stockton, all the old school guys, they want to play all the games. I mean, the only time that John Stockton didn't miss 82 games, so I think was his last 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan, every time he played damn near all 82 games nearly every year. So 82 games didn't stop the old school guys. I understand new schools, new problems, new injuries. I mean, 24/7 year-round training, things of that nature, but that shouldn't stop you. Didn't stop the old school guys. And when people say,
9 times, champ. That's 9 times Michael Jordan has played 82 games in a season.
And if you really want me to be honest, they had less back then as far as healing was concerned, as far as nutrition was. Hell, if you watch The Last Dance, they was even back in 1990, even back in 1998. Remember what they was doing after they won their 60th game in 1998?
I think they were drinking beer.
They was drinking beer. They was drinking beer.
Well, I kind of give Michael a pass because he said normally I would drink Gatorade, but he kind of was stone cold that day. He's like, F it, I'm a...
Or Mike Cole. We're going to call him Mike Cole or Mike Cole Jordan. But, yeah, keep it like it is. And, yeah, so it can add more incentive to these young men so they can go ahead and go out there and not just activate the incentive, but activate your money as well. Hey, got to have incentive for you. If you don't have no incentive to work hard, then guess what? You're not going to.
Maybe they should probably push it to 66. Maybe one more game. But anything to convince these players, hey, in order for you to get these types of incentives, in order for you to get the money, in order for you to get these types of achievements, you're going to have to play. So keep it in place.